I'm kind of bummed about what I found on the truck today, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about it. But I did button it up so that I can drive it, and now I can focus on the Civic. This box of parts is going on it. I think I got stuff for the front lower control arms and the end links. And I have these beauties, which will go on as soon as I'm done with the bushings. We're gonna go ahead and loosen the lug nuts because I gotta jack it up. So I looked through the boxes again to remind myself of which bushings I had, and I had bushings for the upper and lower control arms, and I have bushings for the sway bar. So I'm gonna tackle the sway bar today. I'm going to start by removing the end links. I'm going to replace these with these shiny new ones here. This nut there and that nut there can be removed with, I believe they're 12 millimeter. Yeah. So I take these off now. All right, so that's this top part off, and to get the bottom part off, I'll need to get another 12 millimeter wrench to stick in there. Let's see, is that, yeah, that'll work. And I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other side, which should allow the sway bar to twist up, and I should be able to remove the shaft. To free up a hand, and you're not worried about getting a camera angle, you can let the wrench butt up against the fork there, and then you can remove the lower nut. Then I'll do the same thing with this one. Or maybe not. All right, take that off, take this off. Oh man, these were distorted in shape. So that should allow this to swing all the way up. And the other side swung up too. So now you can take it out and look how distorted they are. And that messes with the intended geometry of the suspension. So now go back over to the passenger side and put the new ones on. All right. I also got new sway bar bushings, so I'm going to replace this with this nice, solid, pretty red one. And this nut here and this bolt here can also be removed with a 12 millimeter. So I'm gonna take them out now as well. So now the sway bar bushing should be able to be removed. It has a split in it. I'm gonna turn it so you can see it right there. And you should be able to just open it up. Well, remove the bracket, open it up, and take it off. And the new one also has a split on that side so you can put the new one on the same way you took the old one off. I was getting ready to put the new one back on, but I didn't know which way this went. So I went back to the video and noticed that the one with the larger shoulder, the one on the left here, goes toward the front. I should have made note of that before I took it off. But then again, I didn't know that it wasn't symmetrical. So I'm gonna wipe down the inside of the bracket just a little bit. Make sure there's no gross debris. And it came with some grease, so I'm gonna apply some of it to the inside of this. And then I'll apply some to the inside of the bushing. So now I'm gonna put the new bushing on. Let's see, what's the best way to do that? It is considerably stiffer than the old one. So squeezing it on may be tricky. Get the grease spread around pretty good. And now I can, where are the nuts and bolts? There we go. So now I can position it with new bushing, then I'll snug it up. So I'll position it and then put the nut over it. All right, that's the new sway bar bushing on. I'll play the same game on the other side. So now I'm gonna move on to the end links. But I noticed on the upgraded ones, there's nothing in between the top and the bottom here in the middle. Whereas this has a nut that doesn't allow them to touch. I guess it's still metal on this one as well, but it's just an odd difference. Well, I'm gonna install it and see how it goes. I am gonna put grease along the bolt and on all the surfaces that make contact with the sway bar and the bushings. I wipe down the areas where the sway bar comes in contact with the bushings, and I'm gonna call this a lower A-arm. I don't know exactly what it's called. I wipe down where the bushings come in contact with it too. So I'm gonna apply grease to those areas before putting the bushing on. It's easier to apply it here than on the bushing, and then I'm handling the bushing. And I'll also do the same thing on the bottom. But on the bottom, I'll put a dab on my hand and kind of smear it around. Also apply some to this surface on the bushing. And I'll do this on all of them. So now I'll sit this bushing where it is going to live. And I will also sit this bushing where it is going to live. Now I'll put its little washer on and put its washer on as well. And I should have some more washers. Where are they? Ah, yeah. Oh man, I just picked up that bolt and forgot it was all sticky with grease. So now I can stick the bolt through this one and get its partner ready. Slide it through that one and scheisse. And now I have the bottom one ready, and if all goes well, line it up on the bottom, and hopefully start the nut. There we have it. So now just tighten that up and I'm done. These new ones came with 14mm nut, or a nut that can be driven with a 14mm to be more accurate. And I think that looks good. Now I'll play the same game on the other side. I still have more bushings to install, but I'll get to them next time. And it is time to finally try on the new wheels for the first time. Let's see what they look like. So far I like them. Let's see what it looks like when you sit it down. Getting these wheels ready was a 6-month process. I may get into that in another video. They were supposed to be temporary while I fixed my Fat 5s. But I think I like them enough to run them for a while. If you'd like to follow along as I continue to improve my EJ1 Civic, hit subscribe. And if you'd like to see the work I've already done, check out my playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.